Is Kathleen Kennedy going to finally lose her job? What's up, space pirates? This is your captain speaking, the ever-charming dread pirate Dr. Disaster, and today we are discussing what seems to be the never-ending story, the ongoing question of whether or not Kathleen Kennedy will remain on at Lucasfilm.
Well, we're waiting.
Well, once again, the rumors of Kennedy going away are picking up steam. Indiana Jones 5 has been a complete and total box office catastrophe, sitting at a paltry $335 million, and everyone thinks, hey, maybe she's finally going away. Well, eventually we have to be right, don't we? I mean, she's not immortal, but here's the thing. There really does seem to be some fire behind all this smoke. I remember a few years ago when Hollywood insider Kamran Pasha said this on an episode of Midnight's Edge.
So what is happening is this Lucasfilm Civil War has now gone really, really intense behind the scenes. And I know I'm going to say this, there are definitely people that want Ms. Kennedy out, right? And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I would be shocked if that didn't include Mr. Chapek, who's a bean counter, right? Who's like, this isn't good for our finances, this isn't good for the shareholders. How do you do that politically, especially in the current environment with with people are afraid of the woke crowds, right? They have to find a way to do it. So I think the telltale sign will come if you start getting sort of the rumors spreading like they have been spreading with Amber Heard. Which is the leaks being sent out in some way degrading Kathleen Kennedy's reputation. The moment one of those comes out and you start hearing people saying nasty stuff about Kathleen Kennedy, rumors, that's when the kill move is being prepared.
Well, me hearties, I have kept that clip tucked away for a day like today, because here we are. The nasty rumors about Kennedy are starting to pop up. Certain outlets are still defending her, they are still defending Kennedy, but they are talking about this stuff in mainstream circles. Now, I don't usually like to cover these types of rumors. I'm more of a news and numbers kind of pirate. I don't have any insider contacts, I don't want to pretend like I do, so I leave that stuff to people like Overlord DVD and Kamran Pasha. I like to talk about actual, hard, certifiable news, but I can't ignore it when I'm seeing articles like this pop up in the mainstream. I mean, Disney has to finally wake up and see that it's time to fire her, right?
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
With that in mind, in this video, we are going to look at what these mainstream outlets are saying about the investigation into Kathleen Kennedy by Disney. We are going to explore the changing attitude toward Kennedy in the mainstream, and we are going to discuss what it all means in light of Kamran Pasha's predictions a few years ago about what it would look like when she is finally fired. Because finally, the failures of Kennedy seem to have reached a level of critical mass.
I don't think he's gonna stop.
So, here is an article from Geek Tyrant, a pretty run-of-the-mill type of geek news website. They definitely aren't a part of the fandom menace. They have very, I don't mean to put them down, but very bland types of articles, very generic. The title of this article, however, What's Going On with This Kathleen Kennedy Investigation at Disney and Lucasfilm? Will She Be Fired? The article says, over the past couple of weeks, there have been rumors spreading regarding Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and an investigation going on at Disney and Lucasfilm regarding her financials. There are also rumors that she has been fired. There have been rumors in the past about Kennedy being fired, but these recent reports might actually have some teeth to them. One source with a hit and miss reputation tweeted at the end of June, "I'm hearing Kathleen Kennedy is now gone from Lucasfilm." I also heard something to that effect, but didn't want to share anything until I had some information to work with. I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but it seems like something is definitely going on over at Lucasfilm in regard to Kennedy. As of right now, from what I understand, Kennedy has not been fired yet. I've heard that she has been put on paid leave though, and that Disney has taken over her computer, and there is a team of investigators going through all of her emails as well as her financial records. Some people believe the reason Kennedy's financials are investigated is because she's been embezzling money from the studio, but that has not been confirmed. It could also be something else. This investigation is said to have been sparked by CEO Bob Iger and his inner circle. Now, for a little more clarity, according to Cameron Pasha's Sparrow and to Overlord DVD, the allegation is that Kennedy has been funneling money over to the Acolyte, taking funds which were earmarked for other projects, other things, and moving it to her pet project. Now, once again, I don't know about the veracity of this. I don't have any Hollywood insiders, but what I do know is that these main streamers are talking about it and helping to confirm large chunks of the rumor. It seems pretty much confirmed at this point that there is an investigation going on, but we just don't necessarily know for sure what the details are. The article goes on to say, apparently, the investigative team is also looking at the emails of other employees and going through their computers trying to find additional information on Kennedy. These are just a few points of information, but from what people are saying, Kennedy may be removed as the president of Lucasfilm. Once again, let's look at Cameron Pasha's prophecy from a few years ago.
If you start getting sort of the rumors spreading like they have been spreading with Amber Heard, which is the leaks being sent out in some way degrading Kathleen Kennedy's reputation. The moment one of those comes out and you start hearing people saying nasty stuff about Kathleen Kennedy, rumors, that's when the kill move is being prepared.
Even allegations of impropriety are potentially figuratively lethal for Kennedy in light of everything going on at Lucasfilm these days. The kill shot seems to be getting prepared. I mean, look at how the prevailing attitude is changing toward her in the media. It's just like Bud Light. Once people realized it was actually popular to hate on the brand, Bud Light was done. In this case, once the media and YouTube personalities start realizing it is popular to hate on Kennedy, she is also done for. Look at this article from Far Out as an example of what I'm talking about. Is Kathleen Kennedy running Lucasfilm into the ground? As recently as a few years ago, it was unthinkable that you would see an article headline like this in the mainstream, but here we are. And the article says, there's a common narrative in the rise and fall of empires, and it often hinges on leadership. Over the decades, the ascension of Kathleen Kennedy in the film industry has been nothing short of impressive. From her early days as Steven Spielberg's assistant to her meteoric rise as the president of Lucasfilm, Kennedy's career trajectory was seemingly flawless. However, the story of Lucasfilm under Kennedy's stewardship is a story of decline. It's an account of how the weight of Star Wars and Indiana Jones, two of cinema's most revered and profitable franchises, has been squandered. Kennedy's role at Lucasfilm was a herald of hope for many fans. The prospects seemed endless when Disney acquired the company in 2012 with her at the helm. Less than a decade after Revenge of the Sith, the fandom clamored for more content set in a galaxy far away, and who better get the ball rolling once more than someone closely associated with George Lucas. The initial return of the Star Wars franchise with The Force Awakens in 2015 and Rogue One a year later was promising, both critically and commercially. Yet, the shine began to fade rapidly. The subsequent films in the sequel trilogy, The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, were met with growing disapproval from fans and critics alike. Now keep in mind that this stuff, the general failures of Lucasfilm and the bad relationship, the bad mojo between the studio and the fanbase, those were things that the media refused to cover as recently as just a few years ago, but the writing is on the wall. Indiana Jones 5, I think, was the wake-up call. It was the wake-up call for these people. You are on the wrong side of this. People do not like Lucasfilm's crap. And journalists are as fickle as weather vanes. They go whichever way the wind is blowing, and I think Kennedy's time is up. I've said it before several times, but I will say it again. I think Disney will let Kennedy retire with grace. Her contract expires next year, and they won't re-sign her. If she isn't signed onto an extension by the end of this year, then she will be in a lame duck year in 2024, and we can reasonably expect that she will be gone by the end of 2024, if she isn't signed by the end of this year. But keep your eyes open. A lot can happen, and this next month, with the earnings report from Disney coming soon, is going to be entertaining as hell. If it's as bad as I expect, the gloves are off. Who knows? A lot could happen, especially pertaining to Kathleen Kennedy and her awful failures. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.